Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode 320 of the Full-Time FBA Show, and today we're talking about why online arbitrage wins for sellers who don't want to hustle 24/7. And to talk with me about this is my wife, Rebecca. What's up, Rebecca?
I am so excited about this episode because, as you know, and maybe our listeners know as well, I love online arbitrage, and I also do not like to hustle 24/7. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this topic today.
Yeah, it's going to be good. And let's get into it today on the Full-Time FBA Show.
As we're getting started on this online arbitrage episode, we want to make sure you know about our OA Profit Playbook Masterclass coming up this Thursday, December 4th. We are going to teach you how to find profitable online arbitrage deals consistently, confidently, and without wasting hours, because who wants to waste hours?
Not me.
No, me either. So you can sign up for this free class at fulltimefba.com/playbook. Now, let's get into talking about why online arbitrage, or OA, works for sellers who just aren't built for the retail hustle, or basically, it's made for sellers like me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big difference between you and me as resellers, and really just as individuals. I love that retail arbitrage life. I mean, going into stores, talking with the employees or managers, getting out of the house, looking for a treasure. The treasure hunt, it's my favorite. But that's not your thing, and that's okay. And there's no shame in that game, and that's why we're talking about why OA can be a perfect fit for so many sellers.
I think this is something we should have talked about a long time ago. Sometimes we can get this idea of what a, quote, real Amazon seller looks like, especially if you see a lot of reels on Instagram or TikTok or wherever that show people outsourcing in stores. There really is something to be said about the idea that your sourcing style should match your actual personality.
Yeah, and there's no bonus points with Amazon if you had to fight your way through a crowded Walmart in late November in order to source your inventory. I mean, that might give you some street cred with certain people in the FBA reseller world, but it doesn't increase your profits. And it certainly doesn't enhance your life in any way to buy your inventory that way versus doing it from the comfort of your own home.
And OA might not seem as exciting or adrenaline-inducing as RA does for some people, but it is an amazing way to have a strategic, scalable path to daily sales on Amazon and eventually a full-time income. And for a lot of people like me, it's the path that actually works with their individual wiring. So when we first got married and I joined Stephen's Amazon business, this was way back in the olden days of 2013, I started out sourcing by going to thrift stores and searching for books. I really enjoyed it. I love books. I love looking at books, and it really fit my pace to focus on sourcing books. But as many of you who are or have been booksellers know, it's hard to scale an Amazon business by sourcing books.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, books have an awesome ROI per unit, but you typically only find one-offs. And we got to a point in our business where in order for us to really grow and scale our business to higher income for our family of 6, we really needed to focus on selling replens, those items that you can buy again and again and sell again and again for a profit. And it's next to impossible to find replens at thrift stores.
So we started focusing less on garage sales and thrift stores and spent more and more time at retail stores. And there's just something about retail stores and scanning for inventory that just didn't vibe with me. I didn't enjoy it as much as searching for books at thrift stores or library sales or what have you. So by 2015, I realized something has to give. I'm not enjoying this. RA seems to be sucking the life out of me. And I had this realization that, have I been making my life harder than it needs to be? I wonder if a lot of our listeners might have been feeling that way too, and you're just wondering if RA is not for you. And so I'm here to tell you, if RA drains you, It's not a character flaw. It's not your lane, and that's okay.
It is. I mean, it's okay. Some personalities are just wired for retail arbitrage. That's me. I love the hunt, the movement, the randomness. I thrive in the chaos. And I'm fueled by the adrenaline of a good store find. That's awesome. But some of you, and this is a lot of sellers, are more wired for online arbitrage. You love the quiet, the predictability, the patterns, and the strategizing and comfort. And you don't like sweating in an aisle on Target on a Tuesday afternoon as your actual job.
Seriously, if the phrase scan everything in the store makes your whole body tense up right now when I say it, then OA might be your home. Just saying scan the entire aisle makes my right eye start twitching.
Yeah, I see it right now. And there's nothing wrong with choosing the sourcing method that best fits your nervous system. In fact, that's the fastest way to get more consistent sales because you're not fighting against the things that drain you. You're leveraging your strengths and your passions.
Okay, so let's talk about the perks of online arbitrage that no one else mentions. Once you get some experience with OA, you'll start to notice predictable patterns, and that is a bonus. You can learn store cycles. You can learn them on a seasonal and a monthly basis. You can see patterns in the prices, how they move up and down, even how they're impacted by Amazon prices and vice versa on any given day. So you can then leverage those patterns into finding replens and building up your replen list faster than you might be able to do if you're outsourcing in retail stores.
Another perk of OA is that repeatability. It leads to scale. And that is easier to accomplish with OA a whole lot more than RA. All of the software and all the tools and the AI and just all the things that make it so that many steps in online arbitrage can be automated that you would still need to actually physically go out and do if you're focused on retail arbitrage. Now, that's what makes part of the treasure hunt of RA so successful for many sellers. It's getting out there and doing the physical work and finding and purchasing and bringing that inventory home to your specific location is limited to just the people in your area. For example, there's only a finite number of people who are going to be sourcing for inventory at the exact same places as I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that gives me an advantage with retail arbitrage, but it also gives me that dopamine hit when I find something awesome.
But the flip side of that is that if you hire a virtual assistant to help with your OA sourcing, it makes it way easier to outsource and delegate than that process in RA. Mm-hmm. So you can have a VA help you from anywhere in the world to do tasks that anyone in the world can do if they have access to a computer and the internet. And OA truly lends itself to the process of outsourcing, whether it's to handle the actual sourcing process, the vetting of the leads, or if you're asking someone to help with handling all of the back-end tasks of maintaining your account in Seller Central. So you can hire someone to help with those aspects of retail arbitrage sourcing, but you're limited to people you can find locally who are a good fit to work with you. But with hiring someone online to help you with OA, you aren't limited locally. You have basically the entire world as your talent pool.
Yeah, and another massive perk is that OA works with your life and all of your particular circumstances. I mean, if you have kids, you can work around their sleep or school schedule and have a ton of flexibility to spend time with them and care for them, but also get your OA work done. If you have another 9-to-5 job, you can source before or after work, and it's not dependent on physical brick and mortar stores actually being open when you're available to source. I mean, if you're not feeling great and you just want to stay on the couch and not go out, you can still pull out the laptop and get some sourcing done if you feel up to it. I mean, if there's a massive ice storm and the roads are closed, as long as you still have electricity and internet, you can keep working with online arbitrage. There's so much flexibility and freedom that comes with sourcing online.
Now, I do want to acknowledge that OA isn't for everyone. Some people, it drives them crazy. They would rather do anything than be tied to their laptop, and I get that. I understand it. And again, that's okay. You just need to find the sourcing method that works best for you.
Now, OA is amazing, but there are some traps that you need to watch out for. And one of the big ones that we see newer sellers fall into is the trap of going too deep, too fast on an untested item. This can be totally easy to do because something looks great, you get excited about that find, and you want to add 20 items to your cart right off the bat. Now, unless you have Keepa data that is impeccable and you have enough experience to trust that you're interpreting that data correctly, it's best to slow your roll and do a smaller test buy before you take that big leap.
Another caveat is that you need to be diligent in taking notes and tracking what's working and what's not. OA has such amazing potential for building systems and processes to simplify your sourcing on a day-to-day basis and to help you scale your Amazon business at a faster pace, but only if you do the upfront work of tracking your progress. You can use a pen and notebook if that's your style, but honestly, if you're going to do OA, you need to become best friends with Excel or Google Sheets. You need to track everything. Track your favorite stores and their sales cycles. Track the items that sell fast and the items that sell for high ROI. Track the lead time on your shipping for various stores, all of that. All of this can help you make decisions and fine-tune your processes so that you have a well-oiled machine of OA that feeds your Amazon inventory and grows your profits. And I also want to urge you to give it time. Don't sit down and spend 30 minutes searching for leads and get discouraged because you aren't finding things as fast as you hoped. And also, don't get disappointed if the first 5 or 10 items you find to sell aren't the same kind of home runs you're used to finding on RA clearance shelves. Finding something that is more comparable to a single or a double in baseball is still finding something that moves you forward. All right, let's get into some homework. So here's where you pause the podcast and start taking some notes. I'm going to give you 5 tasks that will lead to some quick OA wins this very week. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to spend 20 minutes a day doing OA instead of doom scrolling. And I know you're doom scrolling. We all are. It is unavoidable in 2025. But set a timer for 20 minutes and do some OA instead. Put your phone down, go to your computer, do some online arbitrage for that 20 minutes. All right, then I want you to pick 2 or 3 categories and stick to them. Just for this week, you're going to only source in those 2 or 3 categories and see what kind of progress you can make by focusing. Next, I want you to reverse source some of your RA wins. Now, some of you might be used to like storefront stocking and reverse sourcing other people's storefronts, but you're going to be doing this with your own RA wins. You're going to look through the things that you have found that work for you with retail arbitrage, and you're going to reverse engineer how to find those items online because they're already selling for you. You would just need to find them again online. And then you are going to buy 1 to 3 units of something solid that you find. Don't overthink it. Don't look for 20 units or 50 units altogether. You're just going to make the goal of buying 1 to 3 units of something solid so that you have some progress that you make this week in OA.
Yeah, those are some good things to do. And as with anything related to your Amazon business, small wins compound. OA is like a snowball. You just have to start rolling it, and you're going to start seeing the profits grow and adding to each other. And you can add up that progress over time. But you have to start today. So you can spend that 20 minutes today and then do it again tomorrow and then go from there. And before you know it, you're going to have made step after step towards building and scaling an Amazon business, all without running yourself into the ground doing it.
If you want more help with OA, make sure you're signed up for the OA Profit Playbook this week at fulltimefba.com/playbook. It's our free masterclass coming up this Thursday, December 4th. We're going to teach you how to find profitable online arbitrage deals consistently, confidently, and without wasting hours. And you can sign up for that free class again at fulltimefba.com/playbook. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, any of the links we mentioned today, along with the show notes, can be found at fulltimefba.com/320 because this is episode number 320.
And next week on the Full-Time FBA Show, we're going to be talking about your first 30 days of online arbitrage. Next week, we're going to be giving you the exact steps for your first 30 days of OA. So you'll probably want to take some notes on that one. So we'll see you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.